Verb patterns: verbs with infinitives, gerunds, verb ing, and that clauses meaning and use with some verbs, especially those that explain, report or warn, after the main verb. You can sometimes use that, sometimes a gerund, verb ing form, other times an infinitive, with to, and other times, either a gerund or an infinitive. Sentences that make promises, warnings, offers, suggestions or recommendations use these verb structures. My teacher advised us to study 2 hours a day. Advise plus infinitive: the bookstore recommended buying an English dictionary. Recommend plus verb ing: Judith promises to attend the school concert. Promise plus infinitive: Toby told me that he was going to France on holiday. Tell plus that plus independent clause. In addition, some of these verbs need an object, usually a person or people. The police warned us not to enter the building. The speaker invited the audience to ask questions. The best way to learn which of these verbs take that, infinitives, gerunds, or both, is to notice them when you read, or to use grammar references. Here is a list of some of the most common patterns. Remember that an independent clause has a subject and a verb. Discuss plus gerund: the band discussed playing at the new pub. Explain plus that plus independent clause: the reporter explained that the storm may cause flooding. Invite plus someone plus to infinitive: my cousin invited me to go to a movie. Offer plus to infinitive: the bank offered to give the clerk his own desk. Suggest plus gerund: Jason suggested seeing Romeo and Juliet this weekend. 2. Suggest plus that plus independent clause: may I suggest that you not buy a new car this year. Recommend plus gerund: my doctor recommends eating fresh fruit every day. 2. Recommend plus that plus independent clause: we recommend that you buy your tickets early. Ask plus to infinitive: I ask to attend the meeting. 2. Ask plus someone plus to infinitive: Sharon asked her manager to change her hours. 3. Ask plus that plus independent clause: Annie asked that we phone her after 9 in the morning. Propose plus to infinitive: the president proposed to study the idea. 2. Propose plus that plus independent clause: do you propose that we end this program? Tell plus someone plus to infinitive: my grandfather told us not to argue. 2. Tell plus that plus independent clause: my friends told me that I could join them at the pub. Warn plus someone plus to infinitive: the firefighter warned the man not to go near the fire. Form: you can notice from the table that discuss, explain, invite and offer each can be combined with only one verb form, either an infinitive, gerund, or that plus independent clause. Advise, ask, and promise can be combined with 3 options. The rest of these verbs can be combined with 2 different choices. Negative: when using negative forms with the infinitive, not goes before the to part of the verb. We were warned not to miss the last train of the evening. For negatives with gerunds or that plus independent clauses, the not goes before the gerund or infinitive part of the phrase. My coach recommends not eating before practice. Take note: prepositions: be careful not to confuse the to used in an infinitive with the preposition to. We propose to finish by December. Propose to equals intend to. Stephen proposed to Nora over dinner. Propose to equals ask to marry. Dr. Jacobson invited his students to hear a special lecture. Invite someone to hear equals ask someone to listen. We would like to invite you to a party on Saturday. Meaning and use of used to and be: get used to. We use used to plus the infinitive to talk about an action that happened regularly in the past but doesn't happen now. Used to is different to the past simple because it emphasizes that the action was repeated many times. I used to drive to work every day, but now I cycle. It's better for the environment. We also use used to plus the infinitive for past situations. It emphasizes that the situations are no longer true. There used to be lots of old forests here, but sadly they've all been cut down. I never used to get any exercise when I drove to work, so cycling's great. It's easy to confuse used to plus the infinitive. With be get used to, but the meanings are very different. You use be used to say that something isn't new, unusual or difficult for you. You have experienced it many times. You use get used to say that you are gradually finding something less unusual or difficult. Both be used to and get used to can be followed by a noun, pronoun, or the ing form of the verb. Form of used to plus infinitive positive subject plus used to plus infinitive. I used to be stuck in traffic jams day after day. Not, I am used to be stuck in traffic jams day after day. Negative subject plus didn't used to plus infinitive. We can also use never used to plus infinitive. In more formal or written English, used not to plus infinitive is sometimes used. I didn't used to get any exercise. I never used to get any exercise. I used not to get any exercise. Questions and short answers. Did plus subject plus used to plus infinitive. Did it used to take you a long time to get to work? Yes, it did, yes. It used to. Form of be get used to positive subject plus be get used to plus noun, pronoun or plus ing. I'm used to getting wet on the way to work when it rains. My legs have got used to the exercise at last. Negative subject plus not be not get used to plus noun, pronoun or plus ing. My colleagues were amused because they weren't used to seeing me arrive on a bike. If you don't try, you won't get used to new ways of doing things. Questions and short answers. Be plus subject plus used to plus noun, pronoun or plus ing. And auxiliary verb plus subject plus get used to plus noun, pronoun or plus ing. Are your colleagues used to you cycling to work now? Yes, they are. Did they get used to it quickly? Yes, they did. Take note, used to is about the past, so there is no present or future form. For the present we say I usually cycle to work. Not, I used to cycle to work. Take note, didn't used to and did you used to in the negative didn't used to and the question did you used to. Notice that there is no D on use. This is correct English, although people sometimes put a D on the end. Pronunciation used is pronounced in the same way in used to and be get used to. It has a soft S sound and we don't pronounce the letter D at the end of used. We use the weak form of to T except in the short answer yes, I used to, where it is pronounced as two skeptical smiley face.